you talked about S&P earlier, right? You said S&P, correlation with CEO 70%. S&P 500 hits record high on strength of tech and earnings cheer. Gains in Tesla, NVIDIA, and other heavyweight technology names helped the benchmark S&P 500 index scale a record high on Tuesday, while upbeat results from UPS and GE added to optimism around the third quarter earnings. Tesla rose 1%, extending a record run that helps the electric car become a trillion-dollar company. I think that's the 8th trillion-dollar company after they announced the Tesla deal with,
Hertz.
With Hertz. Yeah. United Parcel Service surged 7.6% to the top of the S&P 500 index after delivery firm reported better than expected quarterly earnings and revenue bolstered by strong e-commerce demand, and GE rose 2.6% after the industrial conglomerate raised its full-year earnings forecast. So, Danielle, you're in this world. This is what you do on a daily basis. Has your idea of what's going to happen to the economy changed? So I'm going to ask this question with the conversation that came about with Powell. Is Powell going to keep his job after February? Is it going to be a new person coming in? Is the person that's going to come in somebody we ought to worry about? You kind of talked about that before. I had a conversation with Goldman 2 days ago. Goldman said that rates are going to be going up no matter what because to control inflation. It's not a choice. That's the direction they kind of have to go to be able to do that. Yep. What are some of the things you're seeing, trends, patterns that we ought to know about?
First of all, let's get past the S&P 500 being at a record high. The Fed is pumping $120 billion of liquidity into the market every month. Most Americans that are putting new money into the market, and retail, smaller investors are putting more money into the stock market. You've had more money go into the stock market in 2021 than you had go into the stock market in the past decade. So retail investors, how do they invest? Index funds, right? Every dollar of passive investing, every dollar of marginal dollar of passively invested money in an ETF or an index fund is a multiplier of 17 times because you're feeding a beast. And on top of that, you've got share buybacks right back at record highs because the Fed encourages companies to do what? Invest in the future and grow the economy? No. Issue debt and buy back their shares so that they can get their earnings per share higher. So let's just understand, liquidity is driving this train. And the Fed now, because they got so far behind the inflation curve, because they refused to get out of the business of buying mortgage-backed securities, because they set off a speculative, massive, the highest speculation in U.S. history. What we're seeing right now, the average U.S. family, the first-time home buyer right now, the median price of a home is beyond what they can afford. This is higher than it was in 2006. This is created by the Fed. A lot of this inflation has been created by the Fed. A lot of this inflation has been created by too much stimulus money. So the Fed's getting behind the inflation curve. So they need to tighten. They need to hike rates. And by the way, the U.S. economy just went from 6.7% in the second quarter to what we learned this morning, 2%. So the Fed is tightening into a slowing economy. This is the worst possible situation that you could possibly have. And if Joe Biden thinks that he can replace Jay Powell with effectively a socialist and have the stock market not throw up, he's wrong. And that's why the White House is going to announce by Labor Day who's going to be, whether Jay Powell's going to be renominated or not. Trump had nominated Powell by November the 2nd. The clock is ticking. Halloween Sunday. He still hasn't announced. This morning on the wires, Biden is thoughtfully looking through this process. He's scared shitless because Jay Powell equates to continuity in the stock market, continuity in policy. Wall Street doesn't like change. Lael Brainerd wants to get together with Omarosa and have a party and implement socialism in America. That would be, so my guess, I'm writing about this next week.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Not him. He ain't going to be there.
Or her.
Okay. Got it. So who is that her? Is that a lady that starts with the letter E, or you're thinking it's not?
No, Lael Brainerd.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so which
but
is
Lael
a socialist?
Brainerd has advocated for, as has Omarosa, making sure that you get money to all Americans, the unbanked, digitizing currency.
How much of the current conditions are because of the climate, what it's like? How much of it is because of Powell?
A lot of it's because of the liquidity. Patrick, it's the liquidity.
Does he control that? Is that on Powell?
He has been advocating to not put the brakes on. He's the one who's pushed this situation out as far as it's been, but now he's behind the curve. How do you think he's going to be next Wednesday at the podium when he's at 2:30 Eastern and he's supposed to be answering questions? And the first question out of the gate is, are you getting renominated? While he has just started tightening policy and reducing the amount of liquidity that goes into the market. I mean, that's going to be one awkward press conference. And the Biden administration still has not made a decision because they're a deer in the headlights. They're so afraid of this. This is the biggest decision of Biden's entire career as president, is this decision. Because
what you think he's going to go with her?
he can't. She's not confirmable.
Why is that?
Because she's a known socialist. This is not a reconciliation.
She's not confirmable.
She's not confirmable in the Senate.
Okay, then who?
You can't do a 50-50. You've got to get 60
So
votes.
who could be the person?
Who knows?
Okay, so really, is this something that people really don't know? Is this like, because this is your world? You really saying people don't know? Like, you know how they say, okay, Ben Simmons is going to get traded. He's going to go for, they're going to pick up Kyrie Irving. They're going to pick up who? Is there any people that they're saying that could be?
Can we pull up Predictit, PREDICTIT.org? Next Fed chair. This is Vegas.
Shouldn't we root for the fact that he does appoint her? Because then
We want socialism?
Well, no, she's not going to be confirmed. So then a lot more people
Well,
can
then
have
you
their eyes opened as far as what the agenda is.
But people are dropping like flies. You've lost 2 Fed presidents. The head of banking supervision and regulation quit early, basically in protest. So Clarida, that's another vice chair. His term ends in January. At some point, there's not going to be anybody inside the Fed. I mean, you can't. So where are we here? Next Fed chair, 73 cents. Jerome Powell's down a penny on the day. Lael Brainard's up a penny, but there's nobody underneath that. So if we can zoom in on that and look at the other people underneath it, they're like 6 cents. No, you'd have to pull it up all by itself.
Click on it. Click on next Fed chair.
There you go.
All right, there
That's
you go.
vice chair, and she doesn't want that.
Go back.
Go back.
The middle one.
She wants the big one.
Right there, yeah.
Right there. See? 10 cents, 2 cents, 1 cent.
A file.
That's why I'm saying.
Are these other ones electable though, or no?
I don't know. Some of them aren't qualified to be chair of the Fed. So, but the wires are trying, the media, the liberal media, and I say that, sorry, but it is. The liberal media is saying, you never know, this is the most inclusive president in the history of mankind. There might be somebody else out there. But the betting odds are completely lost. But this is the first thing I wake up every single morning and look at, because the stock market wants the continuity of Jay Powell and the fact that they know he's a Republican. He's going to hold the line on socialism. He's going to hold the line on negative interest rates. Lael Brainard has advocated for, under the right circumstances, doing those things. Did you throw Omarosa in there as control of the currency? I mean, Omarosa right now is probably the highest trending name on my Twitter feed. That's the fear factor. She went to school in Moscow. I mean, she's.
Yeah. She makes no apologies for it either.
No. And she has advocated for this central bank digital currency, which Lael Brainard would help her implement, which would send this country down the path of socialism. But that's why she can't get confirmed. Mm-hmm. That's why Lael Brainard, even though she's the second front runner, that's why she's at 21 cents.
Yeah, because everybody that voted for her would be exposed. Hopefully they could, leverage that and get some of those people out.
How would you want to be those 10 Republican? There are Democratic senators who have said, hell no, I'm not voting to confirm her. So she's not confirmable.
Good. Thank God we haven't collectively lost our mind 100% yet.
It's getting there.
I don't think Omarosa is confirmable.
You don't think Omarosa is confirmable?
If they won't, Lael Brainard looks like a right-wing nutball compared to Omarosa.
Wow.
Right, so
some great options.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.